for your Roundearth site. And Roundearth is our Drupal 8 plus CiviCRM distribution where we pack in all sorts of great defaults and powerful Drupal 8 and CiviCRM open source software. So we're going to, like I said, create a searchable membership directory. This is a super common problem across different nonprofits, different organizations, even for-profit organizations, where you want to have a publicly searchable list of various contacts. So this could be people with a particular skill set. This could be it doesn't have to be contacts either. These could be organizations, so it could be a list of member organizations, so on and so forth. So we're going to put together a bunch of pieces of things that we've done in the past. So we're going to use smart groups, we're going to use profiles, and this time we're going to add memberships. And I haven't really delved into memberships too much, so this time we're just going to scratch the surface, and we're going to use the default supporter membership that we have built into this site. So first things first, let's get into our CiviCRM dashboard. And we're going to go ahead and add some members to that membership. We're going to add some memberships to the contacts. So I'm going to just go ahead here, new membership, and just to keep it easy, I'm just going to use myself, and I'm going to use David. We're going to add memberships for our two contacts in here. So first things first, let's just pull these up. Easy as that. We can add a membership, and obviously memberships sometimes have to do with payments and all sorts of things. We're not going to get into that right now. So I'm just going to save and new, and so that added me, and I'm going to add David next. And what we're going to do, so now we have these two memberships added. And so the kind of the key here is we want to have a subset of all of our contacts that's searchable. You may have thousands of contacts in here for prospecting or past volunteers, and you don't want them to necessarily appear on the site through a search. So we're going to just utilize our smart groups to find individual contacts that have that membership. So we'll go to the advanced search, which is super powerful. Lets us search on everything that's in the CiviCRM database. So we want our results as contacts, yes, and then we're going to scroll down to memberships. I'm going kind of fast, but now if you didn't want to have a membership directory, you wanted to have a directory of some other type of thing, you can skip that membership part and just do a smart search and allow that to be opened up. So we want the membership type to be supporter. Membership status, you could set this to current. I'm just going to leave that alone for right now. But you could do it by members since 1992, their start date, end date, attached to any campaigns. So you could have particular supporters of a certain capital campaign, like we covered last time. Very powerful, but we're going to keep this really basic for right now. Okay, so now we have our smart group, and we don't have our smart group yet. We just did our search. So now we're going to create our smart group here. And I'm just going to call this supporter smart group. You can see that I did this once already. And we can just leave that alone. We don't really need a description. Okay, fantastic. So far, this is stuff that should seem pretty self-explanatory, and it's similar to things we've done in the past. So we are now going to tap into profiles. And profiles, if you recall, it's sort of a strange term to me. But the profile, it's like a view profile. So this allows us to create forms where we can add contacts. It also allows us to create what we're going to do today, which is a search profile for allowing searching of contacts. So we're going to go into our administer here. And this is where really all the advanced stuff happens, but you notice you don't have to get into the advanced stuff too often. So first thing first, we're going to go to customize data and screens, and we're going to select profiles. And what we're going to do here is, because David's in Milwaukee, I'm in Green Bay, I think for this particular one, we're going to create, I'm going to just delete this one that I did before. Okay, and then we're going to recreate this supporters search profile. Okay, so we're going to add a profile. We're going to search on city. So when I did it the first time, I just did it on last name, and that's not super useful. This is, I feel a little more real world. So we're going to call this supporters search. Okay, and I'm going to make the public title that as well. So that's what's going to show up to the visitors of the site. And this we want to use for custom forms, search results. So we're going to use the search views here, okay? But you can always click on these little question mark guys. Standalone form or directory. I don't think we need to do both of these, but just to be on the safe side, we're going to just do both there. And now under advanced, so this stuff just basically is informational stuff about what it is we're doing. We actually need to select which things this is going to be limited to. So we don't just want anybody to be able to search for any contact at all. We want them to be members of this supporters smart group. And I think that is everything on here. Okay, so again, we wanted to be able to we want to select the used for, and we want to give it a name, and then we want to select the group. This stuff gets a little tricky, so I always have to kind of double check myself. All right. Okay, so now we're going to add the fields that we want to be able to search on. Okay. And so in this case, we're going to search on a contact field, address. We're going to actually search on city. Okay. And we want this to be searchable, and the results column, we want this to be exposed publicly and for listings. So in the visibility, so that if that's not already defaulted to that, you want to add that. And I think we're just really going to use this one field. Okay. Actually, let's add one more field. Let's add the state, but we don't want the state to be searchable. We just want that to show up. Okay. And you know, I guess there's Kansas City, Missouri, and Kansas City, Kansas, but they're neighbors. In other situations, there's not a lot of overlap. So I feel pretty confident that a city search is going to be, you know, pretty good for a lot of people. So now we want this to appear in the results column, but we don't want it to be searchable. So we don't need to have the state searchable here, just to demonstrate that you can have some things that show up that aren't searchable and so on. Okay, so now we're good. Searchable, and we could change these if we made a mistake. I feel pretty good about that. So now we need to do one more last thing to make this work. Actually, let's show what we have right now and show that it kind of works but doesn't work. So I'll show you what I mean by that. So we'll go back up to our profiles. And the actual URL that this profile is going to sit at is going to be supporter search. We can do this little menu thing here, and we want to do a use listings mode. Okay. And so you'll see up here, it shows the GID up here. Okay. And it shows this is what our search page looks like on the public website. Okay. However, if we copy and paste this into another browser window, we get this error message. Okay. So we didn't give public permission yet. So CiviCRM is sort of saving us from ourselves. You don't want to make things public. This shouldn't be public. So this defaults to not being public. You have to log in to be able to see this stuff. So let's change that. So if we go to administer and go down to the users and permissions access control, a common term in systems like this is access control lists. So we're going to manage an ACL here. And I may have one in here already. I do not. Good. So you see we already have an administrator ACL that kind of controls what the administrator can see. You may have some other ACLs to allow access to different parts of CiviCRM. But here we're going to specifically add a, we're going to call this the supporter search page. Okay. So a specific access control list for that. And here we're going to select everyone. That's sort of the key there. And under operation, this is crucial. You could select all. That could be dangerous. We really just want to be able to search. Okay. And we want to search a profile. And then we want to select the profile. And that we have set as supporter search. Okay. So we're kind of using every field here. So we give it a description. That's really just for us. The role is going to be everyone if we want this to be public. The operation for this case is going to be search, which is critical. And then we want to be able to search on a specific profile, and that's the one we created. And of course, we want it enabled. Now we'll hit save. And now let's pull back our error page here. And I'm just going to hit refresh. And it should pop up. Boom. So now let's try this out. Let's do a search on Milwaukee, and we'll see who comes up here. If we did everything right, we should see David listed there. Excellent. And you'll see that we have city and state come up in the column here. If we didn't add that state, this wouldn't show up. It would just list the city, which would be fine. But you can add search criteria and display criteria, and they don't have to be the same. You could have search criteria that doesn't show up even down here, which might also be fine because you searched, so you already know that it's that. So maybe you don't want that to happen at all. So I'm going to click the back here, and now I'm going to grab this URL that we used, and we want this to be publicly accessible. So we probably need to add it to a menu. So we're going to go into our Drupal menus here. And I think we're going to add it to our main navigation. Let's just double check that that's what we want. Okay, so this is where we have our home, news, events, contact us. So we're going to add a link. And we're going to call it members. Membership directory search, something like that. Oops. We want that to be here. Okay. And I think we'll just leave that alone. Now, if we go back to this, I'm going to just hit home here, and members, we can just click there, and we can search for members on our public website. So that shows you sort of the power of being able to merge your CRM with your public website. The power is just, it's unlimited. Being able to create searches and ways to get things into and out of the CRM publicly, super powerful. So I feel like we're kind of done here. And so if you'd like to see anything else on CiviCRM, please hit me up on Twitter. I'm just ELLIOT, Elliot, on Twitter. Or you can, if you came to this video through our blog, you can just add a comment on the blog, and I'm happy to do another video on some other aspect. If I made a mistake, or you'd like to see me do something different on here, any feedback is welcome. Thank you very much, and good luck round earthing.